The worlds in our solar system are one of a kind. They may even be rare, but if we turn our eyes away from home, we'll soon discover that there are, truly, some weird worlds out there. A planet's density is a measure of how much mass it has and how compact that mass is within its volume. And it's a pretty easy tell of what that planet is made of. For example, the densest planets in our solar system, Earth and Mercury, have large iron cores. The Moon and Mars have smaller iron cores, but they're still rocky. Objects made of water ice, such as the outer moons of the solar system, have lower densities. The planets with the lowest densities are made of hydrogen and helium gas. The relationship between a planet's density and its composition is a pretty straightforward one. That is, for most planets. These two are the exceptions. Kepler-277 is a star slightly more massive than the Sun, situated around 3,000 light-years from the solar system. It's roughly the same age as the Sun too, between 4 and 4.5 billion years old. However, with its slightly larger mass, that age could mean that it's ending its life in the main sequence, possibly entering the subgiant stage. That could account for its inflated radius, with it being 80% wider than our Sun. But what makes this place notable are its planets. Kepler-277b and c are super-Earths. They sit around 3 times larger than Earth, slightly smaller than Uranus and Neptune. However, both of these planets sit around 87 and 64 times more massive than Earth respectively. That's almost Saturn. Not only are these planets almost the mass of Saturn, but all of that mass is tightly packed into a volume smaller than Uranus and Neptune's. This would class Kepler-277b and c as ultra-dense planets. And a planet's density is tied to its composition. Planets with a substantial amount of iron would have the highest densities. Until now, we have no idea what these planets are made of. Dude, I don't even know how to visualize them in Blender. What's going on here? While ultra-dense planets are rare, these two aren't the only ones that we know of. Hell, they're not even the record breakers, but that's too weird for us. The one thing all of these ultra-dense planets have in common, aside from their densities, is that they all orbit extremely close to their host stars. That may just be the clue we need, because there's another type of exoplanet that orbits extremely close to their stars. Hot Jupiters. Hot Jupiters are Jupiter-sized planets that formed on the outskirts of a star system, and due to dynamics within the protoplanetary disk, migrated closer and closer and closer to their stars. Their large sizes, hot temperatures, and frequent orbits makes these types of planets the most well-studied. Unfortunately, those same factors make these planets the most unstable. As a material, like a gas planet's atmosphere, heats up, it expands. This inflation is another notable characteristic of hot Jupiters, but as that atmosphere expands, it gets blown away by the stellar wind, forever lost into space. The fact that these planets are again incredibly close to their stars, it doesn't help either. In the most extreme of cases, such as Kelt 9b, hot Jupiters can lose up to multiple Neptunes worth of mass every billions of years. And once the atmosphere is gone, all that's left behind is a husk, the inner core of a gas giant, also known as a Chthonian planet. From what I've researched, this isn't the only way an ultra-dense planet can form, but it's a leading theory, and it fits well with the Kepler-277 planets. So, what does the husk of a leftover hot Jupiter planet look like? Well, despite both being ultra-dense planets, Kepler-277b and c are gonna look radically different from each other. A paper published in 2020 suggests that planet B is mostly an iron core, but not just any sort of iron. The pressures in the core are so high that this iron is gonna form complex crystal structures in the shapes of tetragons and cubes. And this crystal iron cube, that's most of the planet. The rest of the planet is a mantle, also theorized to be made of crystals, similar to those that can be formed deep in Earth's mantle, notably olivine, wadesleite, and ringwoodite. As for the rest, well, no atmosphere. Again, it was all stripped away. Our biggest lead for what this weird world could be? A giant crystal ball. But what about her sibling? Well, Kepler-277c is not only 30% less massive than its inner sibling, it's also 15% larger. It's still an ultra-dense planet, but it's gonna be a little less extreme, mainly being made of silicates, regular rock. On top of that, it could have a small amount of water to account for its density too. Well, hang on, rock and water? I thought these were the hallmarks of a lower density planet, something like Mars or an icy moon. How could this explain the ultra high density of this planet? Well, when we're talking about planets with masses like these, the incredibly strong gravity is going to have an effect too, compressing that material into a higher density than it would be otherwise. For example, Jupiter is mainly made of hydrogen and helium. However, its strong gravity pressurizes those gases into liquid forms and, at greater depths, a metallic form, giving Jupiter a density higher than water. If Kepler-277 is made of rock and water, it's probably in some weird high pressure phase due to the gravity it has. And yeah, I tested this in Universe Sandbox. It checks out. Now, this is all speculation done by astronomers. As of me recording this, we don't have actual observational data on what these planets could be made of. But hey, these two planets do transit their stars. Maybe in the future we could do some spectroscopy with the James Webb or future telescope. But until that happens, it's just guesswork for these weird worlds. Alright, low-key, I didn't know what to make for this week's video, so I just started a new series. Whatever. Let me know if you like this series, and if you do, give me more suggestions of what I should cover. I'm still planning out the next video in the world building series about Capitoline, my homeworld, so if you don't know what that is, or if you're curious to stick around, please do. This planet is my baby. I've been busy filming a music video, and I have future projects coming up like very soon. So, if you want to support, it's here on YouTube, Spotify, all those major platforms. Look, Artifexiad likes my music, okay? If he likes it, I think you will too. Go check it out. Alright, bye.